What up? Hey, I'm Moedotj. Welcome back to my channel. This is episode 3 of the No Limit Chronicles and how the label changed the game. Hey, first off, shout out to the notification gang. Hey, anyone new to the channel, if you like my content, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications. Hey, the last two, episode 1 and 2, they actually took off and y'all were going crazy in the comments. So hey, let's keep up that energy for episode 3. But you know me, I'm not gonna hold you up, so let's jump right into it. This is episode 3 of the No Limit Chronicles. Starting off is one thing you gotta know about No Limit. When you sign to No Limit, you gonna get some money. But there's also some other incentives to sign with No Limit. You get a couple things. You get a house. You get $100,000 deposited into your account. You get the car. You get a Rolex. You get a No Limit chain. So as soon as you sign to No Limit, hey, right off the bat, you good to go. So pretty much they were just, the first thing they talk about is the money and stuff that you get when you sign with No Limit Records. When you sign to No Limit Records, you get $100,000 deposited in your account. You get a house in your name. You get a whip in your name. You get a Rolex. You get the No Limit chain, which everybody wanted a No Limit chain. Whew. You had that chain around your neck, it meant something. And not only did you get that, you got 2 guns. Because in No Limit, it was still dangerous. We still in the streets. But pretty much what they're saying is No Limit was making a lot of money. They were getting so much money, but they were making sure all their artists were eating. No matter what they had going on, they were going to make sure that the artists are protected. And at this time, they're still growing. They're big, Master P still growing and growing and growing. So what does he do? He expands. He goes out and gets Mystikal, and he goes out and gets Snoop. At the time, this was these are big free agents that he was trying to get. See, what a lot of people didn't know is Mystikal at the time, he already had a record deal. He was signed to Jive. You know, he was doing all right, but they wasn't really pushing him like that. He had a little buzz, but it was just like, hey, Mystikal could be a star, but he's dying down. Master P seen it, and he's like, dang, this dude's from where I'm from, you know what I'm saying? Let me go see what's going on over there. So once he gets there, he goes and meets with Jive Records because he's the boss, he's the CEO of No Limit. Hey, I need to be talking to the CEO of Jive, you know? I'm trying to get Mystikal. So pretty much they're in there and they're having a little argument, a little dispute. And they're saying, Mystikal's in debt to us, $375,000 to, you know, records, you know, recording, the little promotion that they did for him. So Master P didn't say nothing. They said he just opened up his checkbook and just wrote a check, $375,000, gave it to him. After that, hey, Mystikal, you know Limit. So like I said, Mystikal was already a star in his own light, but he wasn't big and on the main stage. He was just blowing up. Now he's with No Limit. But he's still in these, you know what I'm saying, still in the streets doing what he's doing. But he's with No Limit now. So now he's getting some buzz and some recognition. Part of him being in the streets, he's having a little beef with a group, UNLV. Hey, they was with Cash Money. They was straight. So he's beefing with them. And P's like, nah, man, I got bigger plans for you. I'm gonna have you be a star. So you can't be in these streets. But pretty much, P put it out there that Mystikal was signed to me. No one's touching Mystikal. No one's going to touch any No Limit artist. So he told Mystikal, yeah, you got to calm down. You got to chill out on that wilding out. I'm going to get you on the straight and narrow, man. We're going to make you a star. And Mystikal was on the path to be a star. At this point, No Limit is, hey, they skyrocketing. Mystikal's becoming a star in his own right. CMurder's out there rapping and killing things like he always do. Silkk is out there rapping. Hey, it's Silkk. I mean, I listened to him when I was younger, but hey, it is what it is. Mia X is doing her thing. So everyone's getting their own identity within No Limit. And like I said, they're skyrocketing. So anything Master P is putting out, people are buying it. So he's out here promoting everything. He's the one that started the camouflage. He had everyone wearing camouflage because they No Limit soldiers. So everything was a military, you know, image and everything. So it's like everybody's buying bandanas. They buying tanks because we all wanted the tank, like I said earlier. So everyone's focused on Master P, but Master P always had in his head, I gotta be bigger than life. So instead of me rapping, I know I'm not gonna be hot forever, so I'm just gonna rap. And I'm gonna go on to other things and keep everybody else rapping up under me, which led him into making No Limit films. And No Limit Films put out some classic movies, man. One thing about P is we know he's business minded. So with this No Limit Films, we already know he's about to try to take it to another level. In P's head, he's thinking start small like I did in the rap game, and then work my way up just like I did, man. It can't be that hard. So in 97, he actually releases his first film, I'm About It. Hey, it's a classic. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. One thing people don't know is he financed this whole thing himself. He said about $200,000-$300,000. And he's the first person to make a movie and go straight to VHS. So he's always ahead of the game with whatever he's doing. The good thing for him about that is it went on to sell $2 or $3 million. With Master P being the way he is and always making sure that everyone around him is eating, he made sure every single one of his artists had a role in the film. So they're always going to be able to get paid off of it. That was Master P's thing, is making sure everyone else is straight. You know, I rapped, I did my thing. Now it's time for me to look out for all the younger people. So hey, P was ahead of the game, man. Like, he was doing stuff no one ever thought of. Later on that year, P goes on to release his 6th solo album, Ghetto D. Oh man, this is a classic also. I know everything I'm gonna say is gonna be a classic, but you gotta give props to it because it's a classic. Ghetto D, 725,000 copies sold in the first week. And this is CDs. This ain't no digital sale. This is hard copy CDs. 765,000 the first week. Ends up going triple platinum. Oh man, P's everywhere with this. And not only is he everywhere with this, his biggest song, Make 'Em Say is on there. And when this song drops, it's gonna be able to be played forever. Everybody's on that thing. They got Shaq in the video. They got a tank in the gym. P said it's just really just a party on the court. Like, this song was everywhere. MTV, BET, everything. You wanted to hear Master P. He's on top of the world. Master P is also one of the first people to make a rap song. A hood song, a hood rapper from the streets, grimy, talking dope. Make a song that crossed over and went pop. Make 'Em Say is everywhere. Everyone knew it. P was one of the first to do it. P was one of the first to do a lot of things, man. We gotta, hey, everything he did was a classic, man. We gonna give P his props, man. I'm just realizing it now, thinking back. Hey, P was on top of his thing. Master P ends up opening up his own little No Limit corporate headquarters down in Baton Rouge. Now, he didn't own the whole building. He just owned a side of it. But within there, he had a couple of rooms, a couple offices, his executive offices, some studios, and just stuff for them to be able to work and be able to get everything done. He wanted to bring everything back home where all his people were, and every one of his artists would be able to access it and just be in one central location. So if he got an album to do, hey, go in there and help him on that. Go hop on there, do your track, keep it moving. So P was in his head. He was, hey, I'm working. I got my film company coming up. I got to get my studio together. I'm about to have everything in one central location. I'm about to take over for real, for real. Which leads us to one of the biggest free agent signings in hip hop, in my personal opinion. Snoop going to No Limit. But the only problem is Snoop, he's a legend already. He's in the game, but he's signed to Death Row still. And people are like, man, he's washed, man. You can't do nothing with him. But Master P's like, nah, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of his and I know he can do work, so I want to sign him. But he's still signed to Death Row. So at this point, Death Row owns everything of Snoop. Everything is in Suge's name. So Snoop's like, hey, man, I'm broke, bruh. So P's like, all right, man, I'll let you do a verse on one of my, you know what I'm saying, one of my boys' tracks. He was like, how much you want? Snoop's like $3,500 for it. P went ahead and put a zero out there, gave him $35,000 for the verse. So Snoop is like, oh man, we need to make this happen so I can come to No Limit. Master P ends up having a sit down with Suge, but Suge is in jail at the time. So he goes in there and they're pretty much talking price. The only way that Death Row can stay afloat is if they sell off Snoop. Now they didn't disclose how much it was, but P said it was a couple millions. And whatever it was, he put 200 to 300,000 on top of it just to make sure everything is good. So once Snoop signed, he said, hey man, I sold 1 million records with Death Row, but I ain't never seen $1 million. But when I got with P, oh, I seen multiple M's, and I'm talking quickly. I told y'all, P said everyone's getting a house when they signed to No Limit. So P actually moved into a gated community in the country club. You already know, us black folk, we don't have no country clubs where we from, or attend them, or usually not even accepted in them. But P went in there and he started buying houses. They didn't want him to do it, so he would just buy it cash straight out, so they couldn't stop any of the loans or anything. And like I said, everybody was getting a house out there. He was buying everybody a house. You sign, you get a house. But them white folks ain't like that. They were trying to get him out of there. And plus he had a studio too. So they would have police officers outside the gate waiting for them to leave the gated community, pull them over and harass them the whole time. Everybody was experiencing that. But Pete was trying to tell them, hey, this is how it is in the South, man. We experience this racism on a nonstop daily basis, but this is where we from, man, so we gonna live here too. Then the infamous I Got the Hookup came out, and this is one of my favorite movies, for real, better than About It. This shit was funny to me. Part 2 I ain't really like too much, but 98 was Master P's year, man. He comes out with this. He gets AJ Johnson, and AJ Johnson's like, yeah, man, I did Friday, but no one got paid for that. But when I did this, I Got the Hookup, P gave me a script and a check. And he said, one thing about P, working with him, oh, he got different money, man. He got different money. The check is gonna clear. P ain't playing around. He gonna make sure you get your money and get your money on time. I Got the Hookup drops. They do the whole soundtrack. It's a No Limit soundtrack. Sells 3 million copies. Like I said earlier, this ain't digital sales. This is the hard, open the case, open up the sleeve, look at, oh, okay, cool, CD. Like, P was everywhere. This is also 1998. He released 23 CDs this year. No Limit was on fire. Movies and music. 1998, No Limit's on fire. I Got the Hookup, 23 albums. And then Silkk The Shocker drops Charge It to the Game with the hit, It Ain't My Fault. Oh, it ain't my fault. Did I do that? Hey, when I was a kid, man, listening to that, I was getting ready to go into high school. I'm like, man, this thing is tight, man. I don't really know what Silkk talking about, but Mystikal on here killing this thing. Hey, man, It Ain't My Fault was like, hey, that was a classic. I know I said everything's a classic, but Mystikal said, P was like, I got a song I want you to get on. Silkk already got his verse. You get in there and do yours. And when he heard the beat, he just started off with that, oh, it ain't my fault. So then they went ahead and put that over the hook, and it just, hey, effortlessly, and it made a hit. But for Silkk The Shocker, hey, this is his biggest album. This album went double platinum. That's how big they were doing it back in 98. 23 albums, and I think like 10 or 11 may have went platinum. CMurder, hey, like I said, he's the ruthless one, the real street gutter one. Hey, he been putting in work for No Limit. He's on everybody's albums. He just dropping verses, but he had never have his. But with the momentum that they have, he finally drops his solo album, and it takes off. Everybody, they in love with what CMurder talking. He talking all that stuff. Murder, baby, murder, baby, murder, baby, dope. Like, he's really talking about the life, the streets of New Orleans. And everybody, they knew who CMurder was, but now they get to know CMurder. Because this is his solo album. And with all the momentum they had, he goes platinum. Hey, my dog CMurder was out here though. Hey, listen to some of his old stuff. He was really talking that talk. Hey, that's episode 3, the No Limit Chronicles, the label that changed the game. Before we go though, I need you to comment below in 98, what was your favorite album? Just let me know, because hey, I'm going to be in there debating with you. But I'm Moedotj. Thanks for watching. Hey, I'm on that grind of 5,000 subscribers. So if you're new to the channel, if you like my content, please subscribe. Hit your notification bell. Like, comment, share. Hey, and always subscribe. But I'm Moedotj. Thanks for watching. That's episode 3, No Limit Chronicles.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.